Xi Jinping is not coming for the G20 Summit in New Delhi, but you already know that. What we don't know for sure is why. If the idea was to avoid scrutiny, it has boomeranged. There is now an intense spotlight on China. Every day new stories are emerging. Beijing refuses to clear the air. Tonight we'll tell you about the latest theory doing the rounds. It says Xi Jinping has been reprimanded. By whom? Party elders. And they are a powerful bunch. They're not happy with the Chinese president, and they're letting him know that. This is a rare instance of division within the Chinese establishment. Usually, critics of Xi Jinping end up behind bars or they just disappear. But this time, it's different. Senior Communist Party members are unhappy with the president. A few weeks ago, they held a secret meeting in China. It happened in a suburb of Beijing. The participants were Communist Party elders. They're like patriarchs in a family. And I say patriarchs because there are only men. No woman has ever made it to the top rungs of Chinese leadership. Now, these are men who have retired from official positions, but their influence in the party is still strong, so much so that they can shape Chinese policies. So these leaders met secretly outside Beijing. One of the key faces there was this man. His name is Zheng Qinghong. He is the former vice president of China. Zheng retired from government in the year 2007. He was a close ally of Jiang Zemin, the leader who presided over China when it was opening up. Jiang Zemin was president of China from 1993 to 2003, and Zheng was like his right-hand man. He also had a role to play in Xi Jinping's rise. Xi Jinping was his protege. Zheng ensured Xi's promotion to the Politburo. This is China's top decision-making body, the Politburo. And Xi Jinping was elected to it in 2007, and the move was a stepping stone towards his presidency. So you could say that Zheng paved the path for Xi Jinping's rise, which is why his opinion matters so much. Zheng met with other party leaders outside Beijing. They all had some concerns. The Communist Party elders think that there is political, economic, and social turmoil in China, and if effective countermeasures are not taken, the party will lose public support. In fact, let me quote from what they said: "We cannot have more turmoil." So they expressed concerns and they decided to do something about what was happening. Their next meeting was in Beidaihe. This is a seaside resort town, a very important place in China. Every year, the biggest leaders of the Communist Party meet here. It's an old tradition. This is an informal gathering. The meetings are kept private. China does not announce them. Neither does it share the outcomes of this summit. This meeting is done basically to facilitate a free exchange of ideas. But sometimes these conversations get leaked, like in this case. Some inside information has been leaked. Apparently, the party elders met Xi Jinping in private and they shared a list of complaints, the list that they had compiled before coming to Beidaihe. Now, they're unhappy about three main things. The recent purge in the Chinese military, 2 top generals who were in charge of China's rocket force went missing. This is said to have led to commotion within the PLA. Then China's foreign minister went missing. Beijing did not explain his disappearance. They just sacked him and appointed someone else. The elders wanted to know why. They think this episode has left China's foreign ministry unsettled. And their biggest concern is the economy. It's a complete mess. Investments are falling, growth is slowing down, and the debt bubble is bursting. The president was pulled up for all these things. What do you think was his response? He was not happy, of course. And he is said to have confided in his team. Turns out Xi Jinping blamed his predecessors for the problems. He blamed 3 men: Deng Xiaoping, Jiang Zemin, and Hu Jintao. He blamed them for the issues that are plaguing China today. We have some quotes. This is what the Chinese president reportedly said: "All the issues that were left by the previous 3 leaders are on my shoulders. I've spent the last decade tackling them, but they remain unresolved. Am I to blame?" That's apparently Xi Jinping venting after being pulled up by the party elders. Then he told his team to fix these problems, especially the economy. You see, it's the lifeblood of the Communist Party. In a country where political and social freedoms are curtailed, economic growth is the bargain that the government offers. If that too is lost, it poses existential challenges for the regime in Beijing. China's growth story looks bad, so much so that they've decided to stop releasing youth employment data. The decision came with a speech of Xi Jinping. Listen to what he said then. We must maintain historic patience and insist on making steady step-by-step progress. So he's asking for the party's patience. The speech was released around the time when the Beidaihe Summit ended. Now the timing makes sense. Does this have something to do with the G20 no-show? He lost face in Beidaihe. He did not want a repeat in New Delhi, perhaps. Reports say Xi Jinping's aides were concerned about this. They feared that China's economic challenges would be highlighted at the G20, so they decided it's better for the president to miss the event. They're sending Premier Li Qiang in his place, and he's been given a task. The premier looks after China's economy. So now it's his job to address questions about China's growth at the G20. It's a tough assignment. And it says a lot about the Chinese leadership. When the going gets tough, the leader goes missing.